Hey guys, welcome back to the Crib Shack. My name's Lisa and today we're going to do some St. Patty's Day DIYs. So I am going to do some Disney Brave DIYs. And I just love her. She's like a really warrior princess and she is Irish. And I thought it would be fun to do some, DIYs to inspire her. So guys, let's get started. So for the first DIY, we are going to start out with this picture frame that I actually got at a garage sale. I actually got it for free though as well. So anyway, I need to make over this picture. So you can always take something really old and make it completely new. So we're going to start out with these panels that I got from Dollar Tree. You get a big pack of them for $1.25. So I stained them with Waverly Wax. I put it off to the side to make sure they're completely dried. And then I'm going to take some black acrylic paint and I'm going to paint the frame of that. And then when that was completely dried, I decided to take some really dark, like a forest green, and paint the inside of the frame. And it doesn't have to be so neat because we are going to cover most of this up as well. And then I'm going to take those panels that I already stained, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue them right onto that picture. I decided to do some hot glue, but you can always do some wood glue, but I think hot glue is completely fine for this project. I actually went on my Cricut machine and I found this image off Etsy, and this is a beautiful image of Brave, and I decided to do a black vinyl. I cut it out, weeded it out, and I put it right onto the wooden panels. And this is really, really pretty when this is all set and done. And then I felt like it needed a little something else. So I wanted to put a little embellishment. I wanted to put a arrow. So I'm going to make an arrow. I grabbed a dowel and I cut it to size and I stained it with Waverly Wax, and I pulled out some scrapbook pieces of paper, which is like a tan color, and I cut that out like an arrow, glue that right onto the dowel, and then what I did was to make it look like older, I grabbed some of my Tim Holtz ink and I just kind of went over the edges a little bit. And then I grabbed some feathers and I just put those right onto the other side of the arrow. And then I decided to put a little bit of piece of twine and wrap that around the arrow because it just looks better. It gives it a little character as well too. And all I did was just glue that right on the bottom of the frame. I so glad I did that arrow. It looks beautiful. I did take some bronze metallic paint and I decided to do a little dry brushing around the frame just to give it a little sparkle because she is a princess as well, and this came out absolutely beautiful. So for the second DIY, I want to make kind of like a shadow box. So I found this box at Dollar Tree for $1.25. I decided to stain the whole box with that Waverly Wax. And then what you want to do is you want to make sure it's completely dry for the next steps following. I did pull out this piece of paper that I actually got from Michael's in a paper pad, and this is a perfect green. So I really want to cover the top of it. So I cut that to size and I glued sticked that right on to the box. I did go back in with a sandpaper and just kind of give it a really rough sand around the edges, so that gives it a very crisp edge. To make it like a little vintage, I did take that black soot Distress Oxide ink and I just went over the edges with that. And you can do whatever you want with that. If you don't have ink, you can always do like a black permanent marker as well. And then I actually grabbed this Wild and Free piece of paper that I actually got from my Happy Planner guys. So you always want to keep the paper from your planners because you never know when you're going to use them. This is a very, very pretty quote. I love how this definitely goes with the Brave theme. So I put that right on the top of the box, and then as you can see here, I grabbed some of this paper. Now I grabbed this paper from Joann's, and this is a perfect paper. It has arrows, that type of thing. So I decided to cover the sides of this box. So I did the same thing. I glued that right to the box, cut it to size, and then I sanded the edges off just to give it a very crisp edge. And it gives it like that finished look as well. So I went all the way around the box with this arrow pieces of paper. So let's go inside of the box. So I really wanted to take the same green paper and I wanted to put this into the background of the inside of the box. And all I did was just kind of cut it to size, trim it up so it can fit in the background of that box. I did glue it with a glue stick, and I think it's just like the best option, but you can always use any type of glue for this project. And then what I did was I went on Google and I found this beautiful picture of Brave, and there is a bear in the background. So all I did was size it, I printed it out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on the back of the box. So after that was done, I'm going to make sure this box is going to stay open. So I just grabbed a dowel and I just hot glued that little dowel in the back of the box, as you can see here, and there you go. Now it's staying up. And now it is the fun part, is filling this little box up. So taking some Dollar Tree moss, I put that right on the bottom of the box and I hot glued that. I grabbed this wooden round piece and it's perfect for a target. So I went on my Cricut machine and you just put in target and this is what popped up. So I actually grabbed some black, blue, and red vinyl and put that right onto this wooden piece. Now we're going to make a bear potion. So I grabbed this glass bottle from Dollar Tree and I grabbed this label from Google. All I did was Google bear potion. It popped up and I printed it out. And then I glued that right onto the glass bottle with some Mod Podge. And then I am filling this up with Dollar Tree confetti. Now this is a bronze color, and then all I did was put the cork right on top. And now I'm grabbing some little things to make this box come to life. So I grabbed some of these like feather things that I actually grabbed at Hobby Lobby. I glued the target right in there. And then I grabbed some of these like charms. Now these charms all came from Hobby Lobby, the feather charms, the arrow charms. And most of the time I can get them for 40% off or on clearance. So I just kind of glued all those into the box, and then I glued the little bear potion as well, and I grabbed some feathers. I had these feathers on hand. Now I actually got these feathers at Hobby Lobby as well, and I put them right into the box. And then I went into my stash of scrapbook pieces of paper and I found this Be Brave little sign. I cut it to size and I placed it right on the corner of the box, and this came out beautiful. I love doing this kind of stuff, and this is a great sell as well too, or a beautiful gift for somebody that is just really loves Disney Brave. I actually had a fun time doing this, and this one was my favorite one for today. So for the third DIY, I picked up this really nice wooden piece from Ollies. It was $1.99, which I think is amazing price. And then this arrow I actually found at Dollar Tree. So let's stain the wooden piece with this Waverly wax. And then we're going to go to the arrow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of sand it a little bit so the paint can actually stick onto this piece, because it felt like it had a shiny coat on top. So I actually painted this black. And then I found this image off Etsy and I printed that out and I put it right onto the arrow. And I love this saying of Brave, you can't be brave without fear. So then I decided to grab some metallic paint to give this arrow more of a pop. So I grabbed some bronze metallic paint, and it's the same bronze that I used on the first DIY, and I went over the sides of the arrow, and it just gives it a little pop. So then I just hot glued this arrow right onto the wooden piece, and it felt like it needed a little something, but I love how plain this is. So I just grabbed one of these like little charms, and I just hot glued that little charm right on to the corner of the arrow, and look how beautiful this came out. It's very simple, beautiful. I absolutely love this, and I put all of these pieces together, and I wanted to show you how beautiful all of these turned out. And if you guys like this kind of stuff, give me that thumbs up, and if you didn't subscribe, you can always subscribe to my channel. I would love you on board, and you guys take care. Have a good weekend.